In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the AC condenser on this Audi A4. You're going to find this located behind the front bumper cover. Let's get into it. Before you start this job, you need to know that you're going to have the refrigerant removed from the vehicle. We're going to remove these screws. Use a T30 socket. Underneath, there's going to be 3 fasteners right there, and there should be a shield underneath here. This vehicle doesn't have it. You want to take those out, use a T30 socket, and remove that shield as well. Using the tool from the trunk, go in the center cap, and just pull it off. Using a 17mm socket, take the lug bolts off. Before you take the last one off, I'm just going to hold the wheel so it doesn't fall. Take that off and grab the wheel and slide it off. We're going to remove part of the inner fender well. Just use a trim tool. Just take this push pin out. Just pop that one out. Using a T25 socket, remove these screws. Pull the inner fender well back. If there's any push pins along the bottom, you want to take those out as well. Just slide this back a little bit. We can see right here. We'll take those 2 out. Same T25 socket. On this part of the bumper, there's 2 studs going this way. You need to take those 2 nuts off. You're going to use a 10mm socket. So we're going to peel back the inner fender well. A little bit more. Set that aside. Using my 10mm socket. Take the nuts out. Grab that. And do the same to the other side. And then you can grab it from the sides. Just pull forward. Pull the bumper cover out. And if you have fog lights, you're gonna have to disconnect the connector over here. Push down on the tab and slide that off. Those panels on the side here, we want to take those off. Use a T20 socket. Take these screws out. Take that screw out, and then just grab this panel. Just twist it. It'll come right out. You can do the same on the other side. And just slide it out. Remove this screw right here. Use a T20 socket. This bracket can get moved forward just slightly. We're going to remove this screw. Use a T30 socket. And we had the refrigerant removed. So you might hear a vacuum when we pull this off. There you go, that's it. Pull that down. And on the other side, take that one off. Use the same T30 socket. Take the screw out. You can just, this panel right here, you can just fold it back. Pull that out. And just grab the line, slide that off. And this screw right here, T30 socket. Take that out. And the other side. Take that out. I'll disconnect the connector for the pressure sensor. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver. Just get under the tab, slide that off. Using a 17mm wrench and another 17mm wrench just on the pipe. Loosen this up. Once it's loose, you can unthread it. Slides off. There's an O-ring right there. Pull the O-ring off. Using the T30 socket, take the screw out. And this one, you want to make sure you support the condenser when you do that. It's going to be loose. Pull this pipe out a little bit just so it can pass by, and it comes right out. And on the side here, we're going to take this cover off before we put this in. You want to take some refrigerant oil and put an ounce in. You can drain the old condenser and see how much comes out. And if it's more than an ounce, then you want to add more than an ounce. Just as much as you drained out. Otherwise, just an ounce is good. And just so this doesn't come out when we tip it up, I'll just put this cap on for now. Now slide this in place, pull that hose out, get that lined up, get the bolts started. We're not going to tighten those down yet, just get them started. And put the lower screws in. And once you get those all in, we can tighten those down. Tighten those down. Now just take a little AC oil, put it on the O-ring. It's a good idea to replace that O-ring if you have one. Pull this cap off, line this up, and put the screw in. Get that started. I'll snug this up. And same on this line. Little AC oil on the O-ring. Or replace it. Take this cap off, slide that in, get the bolt started. Snug that down, and just make sure those are tight. That's good. That's good. Snug those up. Now get this bracket lined up. Take the screw, get that started. Snug it down, and take this little cap off. Take the new O-ring. Get that lined up. And put a little refrigerant oil on that. The sensor, get that started. And snug that down. If you can get a torque wrench in there, you want to torque that to 43 inch-pounds. Take the connector, line it up, lock it down. Take these air deflectors, line those up. Twist those in place. And take the screws. Get those started. Snug those down, and then the lower screw as well. And then you can do the same on the other side. Now slide the bumper in position. Before we do, we got to connect the connector over here. plug that in, make sure that's tight. Line this up. Make sure you line the studs up on the sides. And push that in. We can get the 2 nuts that are going to go in those studs. And get the 2 nuts started. Tighten those down. Take these screws, get these started. Tighten those down. Inner fender well, get that lined up. And get the screws and push pins back in place. There's one up here. And we'll tighten those down. Snug those up. Do the same on the other side. Take the wheel, slide it in position. The lug bolts, get that started. Snug that down, then you can let go of the wheel. Snug those down. Now I'm going to torque the lug bolts to 90 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. That's good. Take the center cap. Where the hole is, you want that lined up with the valve stem. Just line that up. Tap it on. Underneath, if you have the splash shield and the retainers, you want to put that back and install the bolts right there. This vehicle does not. And up top, put the bolts in. Get those started. Snug those down. After you're done the repair, you can go back to that shop where you had the refrigerant removed and have them reinstall the refrigerant.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.